What's up, dog? How you doing, man? This is so cool, so cool, so cool. Hold on one second. All right, all right. What's up, you guys? Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust my camera stuff here a little bit so you guys can see me a little bit better. All right. I got my cup of Joe, ready to get down. Ready, drinking some Bacardi and working. Well, I got some coffee and working. Hold on, let me close my door. I need to get a on-air sign for my Twitch channel so my wife and kids will know when I'm broadcasting, when I'm not. All right, so analog tonight, Nathan. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Zamakiel, how are you? What's up? What's up? All right, so what I'm doing tonight, as I kind of stated in my post, I'm glad you guys saw. Hopefully, you guys saw some of that. That's awesome. This has been really a blessing for me to work here on this format here on Twitch. Sorry, my brain's in five different places. As you guys can see, this is kind of where I'm at with my work. I have a lot to do, and so I'm pretty much going to be here for a while. If you guys want to hang out with me, I'm going to be taking this opportunity to basically work on my. It's not a commission. It's actually just a piece of art for my print for this season. But I'm very excited about some of what's already happening. Excuse me. I just wanted to kind of, as we've been doing recently, I want to include you guys in the conversation. I'll do my best. I'm going to do my best to continue to converse with you all. But I might forget from time to time as I'm looking at this. So don't feel bad. If you need a question answered, please make sure that you ask it. If I don't answer it right away, ask it again, and we'll get to it. So according to my stats here, I have about 8 people in. Maybe there's more, but we're going to go ahead and keep working because I have a lot to do. So my goal here is to finish up my Solitude piece, have it ready for C2E2. Obviously, it's going to have some impact on what happens to it for going into MegaCon later this year, TampaCon, and ultimately New York Comic Con. I don't know if you guys know. I'm going to make sure I'm going to share with you guys. If you guys don't know, Great Forever. Oh, what's up? What's up? Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Some people didn't share with me about certain cons or whatever. I'm going to make sure you guys know about the cons. All right, someone's asking me some stuff on Instagram. I hope they know I'm broadcasting because they're going to ask me questions that I'm going to answer here. So anyway, so let's get started. I need to get this thing wrapped up. It's over here. It's 9:56. I mean, it's almost 10 o'clock. I've got a lot of work to do. So we're just going to get to busy. What I did, so you guys know, part of my process was to come up with a solution where I could use parts and pieces of stuff and to tell the story about Superman. As in the Batman Arkham piece. Can you guys hear me okay? Oh yeah. Thank you, Reno. I appreciate that, brother. As some of you may or may not know, on the Batman piece, that was about the dichotomy of Batman and the complexity. I think I have it here. Here, I'm going to switch over real quick to my display and just kind of do a quick reminder, if you will. Let's see here. Here's my Batman Arkham piece. So you guys can see here in the Batman Arkham how there's a lot of mirroring of these characters and elements, and there's a lot of what makes Batman a full world. He has a potential to go evil. He lives on the good side and the dark side. Davies is here, my man. Let's see what's going on here. Sorry, I have my stuff all jacked up here. Anyway, so kept going after you. Yeah, I have to, man. I had to continue, Davies, because I'm running out of time. Anyway, so this is Batman. It's about the dichotomy of Batman. How he could have gone evil, but he ended up staying good, and he always rides that line. Superman, however, Superman is not that guy. Let me go here. Superman, however, is he's a Christ type, a Christ figure in the DC universe. And as in Christianity, there tends to be a lot of imitations of Christ's. And there's been all kinds of people claiming to be Christ. So this is an interesting opportunity to kind of describe that aspect of him in terms of, how on the one side we have the heritage, almost like almost like a traditional heritage, a lifetime of support for who he is. And then on the other side, we have all the corrupt, facsimile versions of who he is, and imitations that always go wrong. So whenever something's imitated, it goes wrong. And that's kind of the story here for this piece. Some of you guys may have noticed, yes, I am recording this time. My hair inking top notch. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, Jose's up in here. What's up? Like Lois's hair. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Fat Cap is here, as always, with the awesome little emojis. I like that. Always reminds me of some people I know. Are those actual inks or PS? Okay, so let me describe my process. So what I did, you guys have been watching me work on Photoshop with the pencils. That was for time's sake. If I could have, I would have gone over this with pencil, but I couldn't. So I went ahead because I need to have this done tonight. After I'm done inking this tonight, I'm going to move on to scanning this piece, cleaning it up, and then preparing it for a print. I'm taking all my stuff to the printer tomorrow so I can have it all done by Wednesday, and I fly out to Chicago on Thursday. So there's lots to do. So what I did was, on a separate layer in Photoshop, I created a gradient map. And the gradient map, what that does is I won't even go into all that because it's going to be kind of complicated. But basically, I set the art up to be to come out blue. And the formula I use for that is it creates a good what do you call it? A good mixture for what they call a blue line pencil. Is 51 cyan, 0 magenta, 2 yellow, and 0 black. 51 cyan, 2 yellow, the other 2 are 0. That's when you're in your color settings on the CMYK. The reason why I did that was it gives me a nice blue color, but however, what that does, it gives me a really deep color. When I print it, it comes out really like thick and more blue than you would want, and also it gets very waxy, of course, when you're printing that on the board. So I have an 11x17 printer. It's a Brother printer. It's older, but I love it. It still works. And so what I was able to do was get that mood going along, and pretty much kind of thinking to myself, all right, how am I going to get this worked out? I lowered the opacity to about 30%, and it gave me a super nice, I can still see the blue, but it's so soft, so light, it's like working on the paper. So Brandowski says it's looking good. I'm glad to hear that. So I'm going to, tonight, like I said, this is going to be a what do you call it, analog show. I'm going to be inking with my Pentel brush pen, and you guys can ask questions as I move along. I'll do the best I can to look up to answer the questions, but forgive me if I don't get into it right away. I'm still working on my magnetic surface so I can do certain things here. I have my tools set up with magnets, most of them. This one is not, however, because this is more of a portable tool. And I'm going to just kind of show you some of the stuff. I won't make this one too long. Do you send commissions out with digital inks? Do I send commissions out? I don't actually, mainly because, I don't know, it's hard to sell digital inked work. Oh, you meant digital pencils. No, I don't usually. And again, because most people don't appreciate it, so I kind of have to go through. What I was going to do with this was redraw it in pencil. In fact, there's some things I got to do to this too because I didn't finish it all. I didn't finish it the way I wanted to, so let's see here. I'm going to draw in the shield. I've neglected to do that. So I'm using a Caran d'Ache non-photo blue pencil. These are very expensive, so I only use them in special occasions. I figured this would be a good one. Like drawings rough, it's digital, then inking traditional, but I don't send commissions like that. No, I don't know. I can't. Yeah, you're right. I can't do it either. I'm always weird about sending it like that. Yeah, I think some people appreciate it. So one of the things that we were talking about last night on here was what I might be offering on, say, a format like a platform like Patreon. And what I might do along the way is provide some of these things in their earlier forms, even digitally. And so if you're an inker, you might want to try your hand for whatever the price is going to be for that month or that subscription tier. Or maybe if you're a colorist, you might like a high-res scan of some of my inks. I'm going to start off with some of my older ones that I've retired, my old prints. And hopefully that will be something that people might be interested in along the way for practice, because that's a great way to start, is to get somebody else's pencils and inks and kind of work over it. And then you can show people what you could do with somebody else's work. All right, I'm going to continue to drink coffee, guys, because that helped me a lot. After I wrapped up, I was on for 5 hours last night. And after 5 hours, I was pretty tired, but the caffeine was kicking. So I was able to keep working, and I got this far. You guys saw I put some effort into Lobo. I didn't finish this stupid S. I'm doing like what I consider the traditional S. Let's see here. This is one of the first things I learned to draw when I was a kid. I was confused by the pattern. I didn't understand it was an S right away. Can you believe that? It was when I was very young. Can't be totally... Sorry about that. I follow Reno's on Instagram. Oh yeah, Reno's my boy. I got his back, and he's got mine. I'm shaking the camera. Sorry, I'm trying not to do that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'll do this here. And actually, it's funny because now, as a graphic designer, I spend a lot of my time considering clever typography, and this is actually pretty clever. It was neat to see it this way. It actually probably wasn't that hard, but at the time I was like, oh, it's like a puzzle piece. I used to think this was a whale. So why does he have a whale? So I still call it a whale and the fish. The whale and the fish. It's interesting when you start to see things reversed. By the way, I'm doing so I think it's going to get sluggish. Oh, man. All right. I didn't see the Iron Fist piece, man. I gotta look it up, I've been really working on this stuff. Lost in my own little world. I'm lost in love. All right, I think I'm gonna switch tools here. Where's my little box? Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and switch. So I have my Touch liner pens that I've been using. I'm very excited. Let's use the other pack. It has a price tag. It's the older pack. And I'm going to use this to do some of the detail. Let's try this one. Might be too small, but I'm going to go with the .05 or whatever. I like to build with this type of stuff here. You guys can see I have another copy of the right underneath this. This is the earlier, darker version. I can kind of show you what it looks like when you don't lower the opacity. It was my first pass. You can kind of see here how dark blue it is. And that's okay, but it kind of gets weird, and it's hard. It definitely needs a texture on the board, and so get rid of that. But this is how you like it. I like it when it's to ink. It's nice and soft. Lafayette, thank you for coming by. Yes, I plan to. Is there another drink? Yeah, I plan to. Oh, Taco Fuel pens. Yeah, so Taco Fuel is one of my peeps now. As you guys know, otakufuels.com. Or is it taco fuel? Not taco fuel. I keep saying that. I heard a song one time. It's called Ready Fuels, and I always have S at the end of fuel now. Now, I would do this normally with my brush, but I want to be a little more precise here. And I want to give this a little bit of a different kind of line. Usually when I'm working on something else, I'll see I'm already messing that up. I'm a little nervous tonight. I'm not so much nervous as I am anxious to get this done. Relax, E, relax. Don't let that happen to you. Chill. Groovy chill. Don't be acting ill. No tricks in 86. Showing my age. Singing rap songs from the 80s. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Can't work right if you got too much junk all over the place. Alright. So what is this piece for? Lafayette says. Wait. Brain Shark Mouth, how you doing? I'm working on a cool Wonder Woman piece. I wish I could show you. Haha. I wish you could show me. That's cool, but I can't see it right now. It's out of the way. Haha, haha. Alright, so this is going to be, I'm going to definitely leave this S. I could do a lot of things with this S in terms of like texture or give it a little some reflective qualities. I want to stay away from that because there's so much noise going on around it. I want to try to keep it as clean as possible. So I'm going to turn this around. I should use French curves, but I feel comfortable enough like this. Alright, so I want to fix that little problem. So for small mistakes, like I did on the edge of the S there, I come in with my white Uniball Sino pen. Works pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of touch up the edge there so it's a little cleaner. Alright. Alright, so Lafayette asks, what is this for? Yeah, Flawless Cowboy. That's true. He did say that once, and but yeah, I always thought that. I always saw the whale and the fish. It's strange, but you know what I'm going to do also? I'm going to also add the I need a bolder pen. I don't want it to be too bold. I don't want a brush part. I'm going to make this better. Last night when I was inking this, I got a little happy with the top of the S area, so I lost some of the opportunity to just make this the top of his shirt. So my Superman is going to wear an S that's right up on his neck. Right. That's cool. It kind of gives a nice pop to it, a bit of weight. I was going to cover up this part of the S at one point with some with Metropolis, like I did Batman's, but it's ironic. This particular mark is so powerful, and it is the. I mean, it's so recognizable for Superman that I didn't want to. I didn't want to ruin the opportunity to just let the branding exist for this character, especially when so many of the imitations are about that S. Whether it's Bizarro's reversed S or Ultra, what's his name? Ultraman, his U shape. Oh, Jay Saint. Oh, Juan. What's up, man? Thanks for coming by. This is awesome. A lot of my folks from Instagram and even Periscope are hanging out with me. Hey guys, while we're on the topic here, I want to invite you guys, if you are new to my channel, please feel free, but not pressured, to follow me. If you're interested in what I'm doing here and you'd like to see more of it, I want to do more of it for you. And you know, kind of I do a lot of sharing of my techniques here and my my approach to certain art challenges. So if that's your gig, then come fly with me. All right. So you notice that I'm getting a right away. I'm getting a dry brush effect, and that's usually a sign that that there's I'm losing ink in here. Adel Adelgado do Morillo 85. Digging the work, heard you say you were on a deadline, but are you also going to show how you go about cleaning up an image on Photoshop after inking? I don't know if you guys are going to make it that far. I don't know how long this is going to take me. I would like to do that, um, but I need to make sure that I'm staying productive. So we'll see. We'll see where I'm at. I mean, you can see I'm just doing the S right here, and this is there's still more ink in here. It's going low though because it's getting weird, it's getting squirrely on me. Uh, let's see where I'm at. I'm guessing that I'm probably not going to finish it on here. I might at some point have to hunker down. I just like to take this opportunity to get you guys involved in the process. For Light, how are you? Good to see you again. Thanks for coming by. I have a really good crew on this platform. All you guys ask great questions, and you guys are pretty dedicated. I really appreciate that. For Light's one of them. That comes every time. All right, so I have the fan off. I might start sweating, so I might have to turn it on. And some of you may not like it, but I'm sorry. Just because of the noise. I have an AC set up in here, but it's not independent from the rest of the house. So the thermostat over there is too warm. Then guess what? I suffer. I'm gonna need a print of this to go with the Batman and Flashers. That's right. That's the whole point. This is part of the series. So going to Chicago, I'm bringing this one along. This will be the launch in Chicago, and then I'm gonna have the Batman one there as well. Probably have Flash, and I'm also gonna have Wonder Woman, a piece of that I did for Wonder Woman a while back. But that'll be my homage to the film that's coming out in less than a week now, I think, or maybe a little more than a week. All right, so I'm kind of excited about where this is right now. It's pretty strong. I like how I'm using the darker colors for. What am I, chopped liver? What are you talking about, bro? Joe Crew making a shirt. Joe Crew making a shirt. I'm losing. First of all, are you talking about? Are you chopped liver, Jose? Because I didn't mention you. Are you crazy, boy? You are deeper than just following me on Instagram, homie. You're my dog. But that's a whole other subject right there. What the? See. All right, so I use a darker thing on Superman, which is kind of cool because I like to use the dark tone on Superman's blue. If I was going to color this, that'd be pretty sharp there. It looks pretty fun. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. I'm going to let this dry. So I'm going to start working on. Let's start working on Brainiac here. I hesitated only because he has some machine parts, but the good news is this is nice and small. So even though I'm trying to draw mechanical things like Brainiac here, the what do you call it? I'm able to throw some strokes that actually give me a nice little. Jose, you're more than special, man. I really appreciate you, dude. More than you'll ever know. Let's see, like 2 weeks. Daredevil Punisher's next weekend. Is Daredevil Punisher next weekend? Oh snap! Huh? Yeah, but you know what though? Everybody's still talking about this movie. Reno. This is gonna be the most controversial film since Golden Pond. Golden Pond. You know, y'all don't even know what Golden Pond is. So yeah, see, I can kind of throw these nice little fast, and I just flick my wrist a little bit, and I get that nicer, straighter line. Watch me mess it up now. Just jig myself. Just jig myself. That's this Friday. Yes. Isn't Daredevil off Friday? I can't wait for. I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all getting fast on me. Okay, so definitely going through. Yeah, this movie's going to be incredible. This is going to be I just said incredible. I don't think it's going to be incredible, but I am going to be amazed at how people are going to respond to it. I've been very vocal about my ideas and issues, but I'll tell you what, that it's going to make a wave in the box office and in comic stores across the nation and around the world is not going to be a joke at all. This is going to be deep. There's a lot of there's a schism, between some of these characters or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm drinking, says Rena. That it's going to address Man of Steel. I think yeah, it's going to address it, but whatever. So here's how we're going to address it. We're going to have him beat up Batman, who spent his whole life doing it underground and didn't kill 1,000 people doing it. Excuse me, 4 trillion people. That number keeps growing for me, isn't it? What's the number after trillion? That's how many people died in Metropolis that day. Because Metropolis was like the size of Texas. See that city? Ridiculous. Let's see. Is this setup pretty good for you guys? Can you see me okay with what I'm doing? Juice Martinez, how are you? Thanks for coming by. The Fat Cap says, status against a vet like Batman. That's true. Yeah, I guess. Whatever. I think we're just going to blow up. So many older people have been waiting for the Holy Trinity to be on film for a long time. That's true, the Fat Cap. The problem is this current Holy Trinity doesn't resemble the ones that us old guys have been waiting for. Superman is a big jerk. I don't know. It's like I said this before. One of the beautiful things about Dark Knight Returns was you got that great, after all these years of Batman and Superman being friends, being part of the Justice League and super friends, when you finally see Batman, thank you, Juice. Ma Joink, how are you? Coming in. When you finally see, gosh, I'm trying to read you guys. A lot of you guys showed up today. Gravitas Husker, thank you for coming by. I'm trying to welcome all of you if I can. Wicked, you're back. Thank you. I'm going to keep working, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to keep working while you guys visit. I don't mind. I'll try to look up and try to answer as I can see. Hopefully I'll catch your responses and such. So when you finally see Superman versus Batman in Dark Knight Returns, you're like, oh snap, that's crazy, yo. They've been friends for all this time. But if your only experience with Batman and Superman is the movie, well, guess what? You're not really sure why they're fighting each other and why that's so important. At that point, it's just about how large certain appendages are. And that's why I'm disappointed in that, because I don't want that to be the only reason why. I still want, we already have a stigma to live down with all this guys in tights and all power fantasies and Freudian mommy issues. Why does it have to actually live out that way in the way the entertainment goes? I don't know. So that's just my beef, as I'm trying to find ways to continue to push for the advancement of the form. But hey, what are you going to do? Why are they fighting? I don't know. There's so many anime series fans. I think it's a good reason to bring people to the movie. Why are they fighting? It seems like it has a firmer tip than the Micron used one that I use. Brian Sharkmouth, Pentel brush pen, yes. Gosh, you guys are communicating fast. Everyone, no, that's not true. That's not true because I'm learning that, you know what? Everyone knows the characters, how they seen them in pop culture on lunchboxes, but they don't know the characters like that. So I think that's a cop out, brother. Sorry, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. But you know what? That's okay. I've said this before too. It's all right now. I've come to terms with it because this is not my Superman. My Superman says, "Hey, maybe we should fight outside the city. Maybe we shouldn't let people die." I don't know. I was just thinking. I was flying over, thinking how I was going to attack this guy, and I thought, you know what? Maybe we can go fight in the desert somewhere. That's Superman. Not, hey man, I'm going to throw you into that 7-Eleven. I'm sure there's somebody hiding in there from the crazy chaos that's happening out here. They're probably hiding for their lives, so I'm just going to throw this train at the 7-Eleven. Yeah, they know they're heroes, so why are the heroes fighting, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. No, it doesn't pique the curiosity. They don't give a damn. All these people now, all they want to do is see Superman beat everybody up. That's all they care about is, oh my gosh, he's so... This is all about the stupid argument that people have been having. Who's stronger, Superman or Mighty Mouse? Okay, Superman. Turns out he's a fictional character, even more. Just saying, man. I'm just saying. I'm a geezer when it comes to that. I'm all about the old stuff. I'm a graphic artist, and I started doing drawing that you're doing. You're awesome. Keep it up, man. Thank you, Wesley. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Wesley Hudson, number 26. People watch these movies, and all of a sudden they think they're comic experts. That's what I'm saying, Jay. That's what I'm saying, Juan. I'm telling you, there's some people who are argue with me about any story from comics. I'm thinking, come on, man. I've been reading comics since like the 70s. I know all about this stuff, right? Not all about it. And listen, that's another thing. I don't even know all about it. And I've been reading this long. I only know some significant information, but I don't know all the different details. Some people know more than me. And then all of a sudden, I saw Man of Steel. Man, he's so buff. He's this. He could kick everybody's ass. I'm like, well, that's not really what Superman's about. Uh-huh. Like, all right. Just call me retarded, then. I don't know what to say. Just saying, man. It could be different. It could be different. Let's see. I've been a fan for years, but I enjoy both. You keep saying that. That's because you're drinking, you know. Bruce was in the city when Superman and Zod were fighting and sees him as a problem. I get that, but this shouldn't have happened in the first place. You guys are missing my point. That's like a retcon. That's like someone said, "Oh man, that happened. We need to deal with that." I know. We'll let Batman fight it. Except Batman seems like he's the bad guy in this movie. So the guy that killed all those people, everyone's rooting for him because he's so badass, not because I don't know. You're missing my point. That's okay. And Reno's drinking. That's all right. It's all. Just on debates alone. You're right. You're absolutely right. I don't know. I don't know, Reno. I don't know. All I know is that I have to keep my geek card in action, so I have to go to the movie. Although I really wasn't that interested at first. The last trailer got me into it, and the only reason why it got me into it was because I want to see Batman finally doing cool stuff that Batman should be doing, and that's the only reason why. I really don't have any interest in that. I don't even like that actor of Superman. He's not that good to me, but whatever. Who am I? I'm just a guy who's been buying the comics since 1976. Who cares? Let's see. He only had his powers for 24 hours? I agree with Juicy Martinez. Reeves was the Mac. No kidding. Marvel movies have been better. I really hope this one is better than, but fingers crossed. You know what? How you doing, Don Hampire? Empire. You have to see. You have to see the Japan version of the trailer. Is it good? Is it bad? What is it? Whoa, Kotans, what's going on? Kutans, I don't know. I don't know. You never corrected me on that. Zamakil, how are you? Serum is also kills Zod in the classic comics too. Listen, can you please put that down, Reno? That was one comic, bro. One comic, and it was like a terrible thing. And again, that was only important because for years he would never do it. Sorry. Christopher Reeves wins. DC always has better animated movies, but still. Superman versus Goku. Goku all day long. He can blow up a planet, man. Come on. What's wrong with you people? Rangers destroy half of Manhattan. Half of Manhattan. Okay, Reno? Half of Manhattan. And Manhattan was real Manhattan, not fictional Texas-sized metropolis, which only makes me wonder how big is the rest of that planet. He killed a lot of people, man. You're getting into like square feet. I'm talking into like human souls. Just saying, Superman's got lots to answer for. Well, no, not Superman. This other guy. All right. So anyway, I'm going through here. I'll let you guys fight that out. Going steady with this piece here. I'm getting into the nuts and bolts, no pun intended, of Brainiac, and I am sweating. I'm gonna have to turn the fan on, guys. Don't like sweating over my art. Actually, I'm gonna do. While I do that, I'm also gonna put on my smudge guard because I like working with that better when I'm doing. Uh-oh, it's gonna get on, man. Wait till I see you. Wait till I see you, Reno. I'm gonna give you all kinds of hugs. Oh, that's gonna be better in here. The doctor is in. This is actually supposed to be used, or generally used for Wacom or Cintiq products, but I prefer using it for inking because it does a good job of keeping my oils off the board, and also makes me feel like I'm doing a better job with this. I don't know. No way. Did that movie was Transformer to Superman in it? Oh, I'm glad that we can facilitate controversy. This is great. Agree to disagree. Oh man. Hey man, it's all fun, guys. Seriously. Like I said earlier, this movie's it may be polarizing to some degree, but Reno was right. If nothing else, on the debate alone and causing people to talk about it. So as an advertising piece or a branding piece, this is going to be an excellent thing for Warner Brothers because people are going to want to watch this regardless. I think, for some people like me who have more of a traditionalist perspective on Superman, this might not be the best iteration of the character, but that it's effective, and that's really the point of business, right? Is to really communicate and sell their brand, their product, So we could cry about it all day long, but at the end of the day, the winners are the ones that make the movies that people go to see. So, they're not really trying to satisfy all of us. They can't, right? That's the thing. But that said, what about what's going on at DC? I've asked this question before, but I'm looking for a better answer. What's going on at DC where they're rebooting stuff again? Is that what I hear? That's fascinating. I'd like to learn more about that. I want to know about where that comes from. So, do a Hulk version of these prints. Juan asked me if I'm going to do a Hulk version. I've considered it. I just don't know that. I was actually going over it with a buddy of mine. I don't know if there's enough characters in Hulk to do this idea properly. At the root of the concept, I talk about the dichotomy of Batman and all that, but the root of the concept is still about good guys versus bad guys, heritage versus evil, that kind of stuff. So I don't know if I have enough of those pieces for Hulk. He doesn't have a white. And that's actually gave me an interesting something to consider about Marvel characters. Apart from Spider-Man, I am thinking about doing a Spider-Man. Apart from Spider-Man, there's not a lot of characters in the Marvel universe that have such a deep cast of supporting cast. Most of the characters don't. Hulk is very light on what I would call like the supporting cast. Like he's got Betty and Rick Jones and Doc Samson, but I can't think of anybody else that. Oh, I guess you can call you can. But A-Bomb is also Rick Jones. You have She-Hulk. You got some, I guess. But pretty much everything on Hulk's side is evil. Or not evil, but against an enemy. Spider-Man, Batman, and of course Archie. Archie? I would actually do an Archie, I think. That would be kind of cool. Archie would be fun, actually. There's a lot of cool... He's got a great cast. So yeah, I just don't know if I have enough characters to do a Hulk piece like this. I did something like it in my sketchbook where this Batman one started, and I mean, I'm not saying I can't do it. I just don't know it would be as effective. That's all. That makes any sense. The Darkseid is mean looking. Yes, thank you very much, Major Mata, Swamp Thing. Okay, see, I knew someone like Tony Coca was going to come in and throw all those guys in. Yeah, he's got all the like these villains, but what about his cast of characters that support him? Almost everybody in Marvel Universe has a decent rogues gallery. It's his the guys on this team. It's really interesting. I know I made that observation, and then it occurred to me that it's built around the philosophy, I think, of you could do like a Team Cap versus Team Iron Man version, but I'm not sure if you could do it for an individual character other than Spider-Man, like you said. Yeah, Crypto is in this drawing. He's gonna be right there. Oh, so cute. Oh, so cute, the doggy. I guess Hercules you could put him in there, but I wouldn't say Hercules was really a Hulk supporting character. The point of this is to kind of be really faithful to the mythology for that individual character. So for Superman, for example, he's not even as deep as Batman. Batman's probably the deepest guy in the DC universe, but at least, like Flash has Iris, Flash has Wally West, Impulse, Jay Garrick, what's her name? Is it Johnny Quick, the girl, whatever? Jesse Quick, I should say. So there's a lot of great additions to that team, to his team, if you will, Team Flash. Original Avengers, I guess so. But it's funny because I don't think of the Avengers so much when I think of Hulk. I never do. It is part of his heritage, though, so you could do it, and I think it would work. But it's almost like when I did the Hulk the last time, after I did the Batman version, in my sketchbook, I had Hulk and Banner in the center, and it was more of like a reinterpretation of all the stories. So that might be good too. So I had Banner, experiencing the blast in a very different way, the gamma bomb blast. That sort of thing. Do Defenders as Hulk allies. Yeah, but see, I could for that matter I could have put the Justice League in here. That's not. I don't want to do it just to do it. I want it to be important to that character. That character. What brand are you using for your inks? Sorry if this is a repeat question. My computer keeps messing up. Did anyone hear him say? I'm using a pencil brush pen that has its own its own ink cartridges. In fact, I can just show you real quick. This is kind of what it looks like. It's not a particular brand, but Pentel, I suppose. It isn't. I'm not aware of the. Maybe Reno knows. I don't know. Um, so yeah, I mean, you could really go deep with a lot of stuff. Like in this particular image, I was obviously inspired a lot by Bruce Timm's interpretation of Superman and the Superman animated series. So when it came down to it, I got really excited because I was like, oh, okay, I could draw this guy, that guy. Like one guy that didn't make it into the final cut was Metallo, and mainly because I was running out of time, and the way I drew him, he wasn't in the right angle that I wanted to put him in, so I had to sacrifice him for the moment. But he would have been in here too. But he's important though. He's an important member of Superman's mythology. Batman, you know, I put all the Robins in. I put the bat signal's an important part. That's the thing. I wanted to make sure that this was authentic. I wanted it to feel authentic. There's so many you can do that are based on cartoons like G.I. Joe, TMNT, Transformers, Little Pony. Not my Little Pony. Irritate, how are you? Who would have thought we would get Deadpool or Batman vs Superman? Yeah, I don't. You guys can have Deadpool. I don't care for that. Does he have a good cast of supporting cast though? They gave him a supporting cast, right, in that movie. He doesn't really have a solid. Maybe Cable, I guess. X-Force, I guess, too. What do you guys think about the Brainiac so far? So you decide against Metallo. I like the design, but I understand why you didn't. Yeah, I had to, man. It was unfortunate because I mean, especially when I fell asleep on the first version of him. Ha ha ha. Get it? Fell asleep. Some of you guys don't know what that's about, but some of you who've been following know. Anyway, yeah, man, it's cool stuff. I'd like to do a Green Lantern piece. Are all these Marvel characters? No, these are DC characters. Like, love the Brainiac looking sick. Like, cool. Yes, it's got Weasel and Blind. Who's got Weasel and Blind Owl? Who are we talking about? Who's Weasel? I think what I'm going to do here, just to kind of, I'm going to give him a little bit of a little shelf there for his chin. Man, I'm really grateful to you guys for coming out, man. A lot of you showed up. 51. Wow, that's a record for me. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming out, man. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. As I told you guys before, if you guys are so inclined, if you like what's going on here, you know, I do this more frequently. Well, now more you guys are here, I can talk a little bit about kind of where I'm at. Irritating, we're not talking like that, brother. There were different 90s Deadpool. Oh, okay, I got you. What do you think of all the digital inking these days? I've always thought it's shit. 10 undos for one line. Fiddlesticks. Actually, it's not, man. It depends. When I would work on my Intuos, yeah, it was a struggle. But working on my Cintiq is not. I do not have that experience anymore. It's a lot more faithful to the stroke that I put down. So let's see about this. Let's see which is the best. Yes. What's the pen you use now? This is a touch liner from Shinhan Art. It is 0.05. You can get these on Otaco Fuel. Well, you know, I got so much to talk to you about, man. I need to actually need to pick your brain about a couple of things when we get a chance. So you guys saw today, somewhere recently, actually Jose, you turned me on to it, Tony Coca, New York Comic Con. So I went ahead and applied. So tools don't make the art of the artist, digital or traditional. It takes skill to make it. Yeah, that's true. Skill trumps experience, trumps tools. If you know what you're doing, you can do some really cool stuff with a crayon. So let me just share with you guys a little bit personal stuff. I last week I put in my a 2-week notice at my day job. I'm going full time life for work going forward. So it's going to give me a little more time to do stuff like this, and so that's why I'm a little more aggressive, when I'm asking people to follow and such. Well, I always love to ink when doing drawings. You may answered this earlier. I just got here, but does the glove prevent ink from smearing? The drawing is looking super clean. Thank you, Reno. Man, thank you so much, dude. Chapanga 21's here hanging out. Awesome. Adelgado Murillo 85. You need to help me with that name, man. Can I just call you A or Aid or Adele? Can I call you Adele? Super jealous and mother effing congrats. Thanks, man. Thank you very much. Thank you, man. It's been a long time, and I've been very nervous about the transition, but I really feel like this is a blessing from God, and that there's a purpose for what we do in this world. And at the time, I just don't know that I can fulfill my purpose at the day job. So I'm taking some time to hopefully build a legacy beyond just work, and also try to do things for the Lord in my life, and also and also give myself an opportunity to create some really just kick-ass stuff. So I'm excited about all of it. Arturo, then the rest is the last name. Awesome, Arturo, very good. I am doing it, man. Yeah, man, that's you're right. God and hard work, man. That's what it's going to be all about. What software do you use from Sketch Soldier for digital inking? I use Photoshop. I also have used what do you call it? Manga Studio, which I enjoy very much. But I'm an old Photoshop user, and I feel like I understand that platform a little more. So it's easier for me to just work with what I know than to try to overdo it with something I need to work more on. So, but anyway, so yeah, so next Wednesday when I fly out for Chicago this Thursday, come back Monday. I go back to work on Tuesday, and my last day is Wednesday, and I'm going to be from there. I have a couple interesting opportunities coming up, and I'm going to need support from you guys from time to time. I'll be like, hey man, talk me off the roof, man. It's going to be cool. And so that's what Reno. That's where you're gonna come in, man. Yo, Liam. Oh, Mike is back, looking sharp, dog. Like you did stay up a long time. Yeah, man, I did. I actually went to bed at 6:30 this morning. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate that, man. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. The butter is open. What do you think of Jehovah's Witnesses? I think you guys are cool. I don't know if you're Jehovah's Witnesses. I think y'all cool. No beef with you. We can all exist on this planet. It's all good. But I'm not here to talk about that stuff. I'm not interested in that. I want to point people to the King. So, but in the process, we're gonna have some fun. So yeah, I got my liner out so I can do some more precise or precision writing or drawing. I'm afraid of letting go of my day job. I really want to make a move to part-time where I'm at, and work on art more, because that's where I want my life to be centered around. And I try to do it as much as I can, but spending 60 hours a week at another job makes it so hard to produce any art I don't know if I can afford it, and all the unknowns make it such a scary proposition. Kotans definitely get you. Um, Thank you, Reno. Thank you for that. My computer's barely streaming this video. It's killing me. I'm sorry. I'm moving at the same pace I've been. Um, uh, nice. Kotans, I know what you mean, and I got to be honest with you. Had it not been for specific direction that I think I received from the Lord, I probably wouldn't have. But I was getting to that point in my life where, just like you're saying, I knew I couldn't do it. They say that you'll never become rich working for someone else, and that's a fact. It's deep truth, and it is a fact. So, it's one of those things you have to just kind of decide, but you have to decide when the time is right for you, and the time is right for me. I've been working for this company for almost 20 years. They've been very, very good to me, and I've I'm a creative and art director, and very, I've had a lot to. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that, man. Word quicker. I don't know what that means. The art reminds me a bit of Ivan Race and Tom Rainey, but either way, it's pretty damn fantastic. Now stop talking and get back to work, damn it. I don't pay to listen to you talk. I don't pay anything. So since it's free, you can talk all you want. And I appreciate that and draw Mickey ears on Lex. Hey, he looks like he's up to no good, and Disneyland always cheers me up. Lafayette, that's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, man. Yeah, right. So you know what? I'm glad you guys are saying that. On top of that, for Kotans, I know that 60 hours is a lot, but you got to decide. So otherwise, work hard, man. I've been putting in the time. It all started when I started doing the storyboards for the cartoon for Hulk, and I started then. I was working really, really late, and I'm not saying that that's a good thing either, by the way. But it is the way to start. You got to get started. You got to get yourself motivated and out of the machine that way first. And I started to do a lot of late nights, and some of it was dangerous for me. I'm glad I didn't die on some stuff of drinking way too many caffeine pills and all kinds of junk like that. But I will say this though, if you can do it better than that, please don't do what I did. But it paid off. I worked hard. I put myself in a position to receive blessings that an old mentor of mine said this to me a long time ago. You can't wait for an opportunity to come to get prepared for it. You have to. Yeah, okay, so you guys are talking about me. I see. Okay, cool. Yes, I am a Christian. You can't wait for an opportunity to come to be ready for it. You have to be ready for it when it comes. And so if you're putting all your energy into, well, that's kind of, I was doing that too, by the way. I would say, man, if I could just wait for that one opportunity, then I can do it. Man, it wasn't coming. And so you have to decide, am I going to wait for it or just be ready, And so I jumped on, and I started to really hang on to, my seat and get busy and get cranking on stuff. And it's paid off. Now I've done, over my career, I've done work for Disney, Walt Disney Imagineering. I've worked on Harley Quinn, one of the biggest properties at DC. I've done some stuff for Marvel on their style guide work, which is ironic because in my line of work in T-shirts, when you do T-shirt design for licensed apparel, you always have to get the style guide from the licensor. And here I am doing art for the stuff that we're actually using at the day job. Go figure. And this isn't too bad, right? It looks nice and techy, or whatever. And then I've had a chance to work for Archie now, and I love Archie comics. You guys don't even know. That's one of my favorite things in the world, and I got a chance to do that. So it's come because I was ready and I was prepared for stuff, and that preparation, as you guys have been alluding to it, has been happening or came up. here on the bottom corner and turn down the video quality might help. In all of that, I have had the opportunity, I lost train of thought, sorry. With all that, it was a long night that got me ready for it. The long nights. And I'm still doing it. So last night, I have a job to do. I got to get this thing wrapped up by, tomorrow. And if I had waited till tonight to start on Superman and all the rest, I would have been that much farther back. And that's no bueno. So you can't let yourself do that. And things have been hard, man. Listen, I got ADD too, so it's not like things come easy to me at all. In fact, anybody here, Reno is a great example of it. Everybody here that I know personally, I know work hard. I surround myself with people that do. Doesn't mean you have to always work hard, by the way. Sometimes we work too hard. We should work smarter, not harder. But there are just sometimes you just got to pay your dues, man. You just got to jump in with both feet. And it seems like it's really far away, but if you put in the effort, the results will come. But you've got to start with that. You've got to start. So, Kotans, I appreciate what you're saying, especially, and I know how it feels. Don't let yourself get down on yourself. You got to keep rocking. How did you do all the long nights with a family? Has that been difficult? Yeah, it has, man. It has, but that's one of the reasons why I do it at night is because I wait till the family's asleep, the kids are in bed, and they're comfortable there, and I can just kind of focus. The downside, though, I will say this: one of the big challenges I've had. By the way, so I told you guys earlier I was having some dry brush shifting in because my ink is going away. But now that I'm working on dark side, that dry brush effect is kind of cool. I like it. I like that look on him. So I'm taking advantage of the weak flow for that. So yeah, the problem is though is you spend a lot of energy at night trying to stay awake. And I'm 43 this year, so I started doing this when I was 41, 40, and it was hard, man. It's hard now. It's harder now than it was then. Thanks. You got it, man. Is Stella 324? Is this the liner you were using similar to Microns, or is this one? Yeah, it's very similar to Microns. Get some practice in, Arturo. Yep. Do you feel like working with this Twitch makes it more enjoyable? Can you imagine talking to people and more or less not being alone as you work? Yeah, it's funny, Lafayette. I've made that observation recently as well. That this helps. A lot of times people will say that working from home can get lonely, and what's great is that you guys have created a community around me, and what can happen from there is that I can share stuff. Hey, what do you guys think about this? And in almost real time, you guys can actually respond. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm attracted to this format, because it provides more interesting interaction not only between me and my fans, quote unquote, but also other artists and professionals and people who think like I think. So, Butters Open says, just saying that you look a really tough dude. I look like a really tough dude? Huh. Okay. My bad. Could you zoom in on the area you're inking? Sure. Let me try. I was having problems with my thing earlier. Let's see. Nope, wrong way. Let's see if this helps. The skunk patch is intimidating. It is the Bronx in me. So back up, y'all. Back up. So, okay, bro. I gotta wake up early. Great work as always. Thank you, Afro. I appreciate that. Man, 57 people on here. Y'all crazy. Hey, don't forget, if you like what you're seeing, please follow me. That's going to be a big part of why I'm here, is that you guys are willing to participate with me, and invite friends or whatever. If you are willing, that'd be very helpful. I like to make this very successful. And what I like about this too is I can share stuff with you guys. That I have a friend who's teaching me some stuff. He's a good friend of mine, and he's also become my teacher. and because I need to be taught, right? I'm an artist, and maybe I'm good at what I do, but I can do better. So every master is also still a student if he really is a master. Anyway, and we were talking about recently how some of the principles of art that, I've always been hungry for process. I'm a process junkie. I appreciate that, the fat cap. Fortunately for me, I spend most of my energy doing the videos, so y'all can watch me, I guess. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Is he a spiritual mentor? Yes, he is. As a matter of fact, he is. He's helpful that way as well. But this guy, he's teaching me like some certain art things, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. I didn't think of it like that. And one of the comments we've been making is how a lot of art techniques are hidden. They're mysteries, and I'm not exactly sure why. It could be that people are trying to preserve the data or the information for themselves, but for the most part, I think some of it is. We were just talking about this the other night. How a lot of it may be because they don't know how to communicate it. So, let's see. I thought I read the wrong thing here. Incorporating Discord. Who is that? You? Are you doing that, Reno? No, I'm getting better. Okay, bring that keys. Looks awesome. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you. You can have other people in private audio. Oh, I see. Incorporate Discord. I see. Private audio chat room. Huh. You know what might be cool for that is incorporating Discord through using that as one of the features from Patreon, actually. Because if it's private, I can certainly use it that way. Okay, let's look at that. Can you do that along with Twitch? Let me write this down. Is it a... just you see what I did? That's what happens when you're a retard. Grab the right out here. Yeah, listen. Nobody wants to talk to you, Reno. I want to talk to Reno. I'm all down. Reno's my boy. So I have a mic. So do we talk while I'm on? You can link your Twitch account to Discord. Ooh, oops, sorry, earthquake. That's kind of cool. I like that idea. Oh, let's look at that. Awesome. All right, so I'm going this way. Maybe you guys can send me some links. You can talk to everyone while you're drawing, or vice versa. I like it. I don't know why it's called Discord. I know there's like a play on discourse. Alright. So do I still seem like a scary dude, guys? Do I still look scary? That was one of the things that kind of attracted me to the motorcycle culture. So I seem to fit in quite nicely. It wasn't trying to, it was just where it goes. Let's see, my name is Andy. Put the box cutter away. So I'm getting down on dark side. Okay, so basically as I'm moving along through here, I am definitely trying to, I don't mind getting a little bit rougher or looser on dark side because he's already a rocky face or surface character. For him it's about texture. So kind of, even if I go off and I do little different things, it's a good time to experiment with certain looks. But part of my motivation here is just to move. So I gotta keep it going. So when I did this drawing in digital form, I put that Kirby crackle in the eyes, and I think I did the wrong thing by trying to imitate it around with inks. The great thing about Kirby crackle is you do it when it's already black. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that. That's nonsense. When in doubt, black it out. Yeah, that's better. I'll add in the Kirby crackle afterward. At Mighty Mouse in the background somewhere, and when you're done, here's my address so you can send it to me to color it with my new box of Crayolas my grandma got me. Yay! 60 viewers. What in the world? What in the world? It's not even a Friday. Well, it would have been on Friday night, I guess. I appreciate you guys, man. Man, I am blessed. Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys so much. So I am still trying to get some of the shapes that I create. I like the shapes that I was doing when I was drawing him, so I'm gonna try to keep some of that. It's so fun, man. Inking. I'm not actually an inker by trade. I started out as a penciler. I became an inker based on the need to do it the way I wanted to do it personally. I had a lot of friends who inked over me and stuff, and it was great. But I knew that I had a way to do it that I wanted to do it. So it's been fun to explore these tools, and it's made me a better penciler actually, because I feel like I know what to draw now that will help someone else out. Right, let's see. Oh, you leaving, bro? That's what I was afraid of. Go sleep it off, Rena. Go sleep it off. Go sleep it off. 50 bots. I'm just noob enough not to care what that means, so I'm alright. I know what it means, I'm just saying. I'm gonna let my ignorance blossom here. Wow, you guys really love me. There's only like 5 of you here, everybody else is fake. Very light gray. Is it hard to see the lines or shadows to ink? It's not actually light gray. It's like a light blue, and actually it helps me to see it better. Shava Alethio, this is much of an art question, but just wondering, do you find a lot of opportunity to share the gospel with people in the art world, comic world platform? Guys, I might have a different take than some of you. I am a Christian, but maybe I look at things a little differently. For me, the gospel starts with sharing your life with people. And before I want to talk about something, I need you to know that I'm trustworthy to talk about it, because faith, no matter what you try to do, is not going to change in people unless they are willing. They have the heart. Their heart's been changed first to listen. So I find the gospel difficult to communicate when I'm trying to make it only about talking and not building the bridge of my life. So I will say that, speaking boldly about that, if I may, I'd rather start off with stuff like this. Let's share our time together. Let's commune over this, right? And then from there, the opportunity will come, and we'll get down to that. But I don't want to. I don't believe in the gospel via sneak attack. I don't like that. I don't think that's what we're here for. Jesus was very clear how he spent time with people, even people who everybody else thought he shouldn't have spent time with, and he gave a lot of time to them. And I want to model that in my life. So I don't have any quick answers for stuff like that because it's only as difficult as I'm willing not to share my life. So this is part of it. And I think that's why I have followers, is because people are registering at least on some level a level of authenticity. I hope. That's my hope. Chapanga 21, what is this piece for? This is really about a print that I want to produce. I actually have a buyer for it already. And I will be able to, but I wanted to create the companion to my Batman, and this is kind of like my little homage to all things Superman, Batman v Superman type stuff. So I hope I answered your question, by the way, whoever was asking that. Did you say you started at 41? How old are you now? You don't look that old. I'm 37, so I was just wondering. I didn't start at 41. I mean, to my art? No, I started, I've been drawing all my life. I started taking this more seriously about 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. And I always dabbled in art. I took home a pile of printer paper that I had either snuck out of the printer, or the back of old comps that were rejected or whatever, and I just drew. I had like pounds of disembodied arms and hands and muscle groups and little drawings of characters and guys with mustaches, blah blah blah. And so I just decided at some point, let me put some shoe leather on this, and I started working towards getting something published. So I started out with doing commissions, and people dug it, and I kept doing that, and then, making the right moves and doing all the hard work that we talked about earlier, it opened up some opportunities, and next thing you know, I'm drawing for DC for a little while. And hopefully soon again, actually. Anyway, I bought it for Carl's Jr.'s coupon. I used this last scratcher that I only use cash in, but I don't tell. This one I don't know what you get tomorrow. You're going to print a giant one like you did the Batman? I don't know if I'll have time for Chicago for that, but if Jose, you asked the question, will I do a giant one? Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It depends. I'm going to see how it does in Chicago, frankly. Traditionally, Superman doesn't sell as well for me as Batman would. However, maybe because of the movie, it might be the difference, right? I know I did a Superman drawing. I don't know if you guys saw it. About a couple months ago. Give me a second. I'll answer that, Lafayette. Yeah, you do, Mike. I need to get it. I gotta go to bed, but I'm stoked to see what you finish up with maybe tomorrow on the ground. Possibly. Thanks for coming by, Brian Sharkmouth. I published on, it was the Harley Quinn Power Girl issue number 2, issue number 3, issue number 4, and number 6. For whatever reason, they didn't want me to come back for number 5, which is fine. That was my first stuff. Very excited about that. It was when they were in space, whatever. Alright, what's wrong with this? I think it's okay, but too much of it is... There's so much detail here. I need to make sure that it's clear that I'm looking at his eyes. That helps a little bit there. Someone told me today, yeah, I did like 3 or 4 pages per book or so. The last book I did more. No, the second to last book I did more. I did the 6 pages or whatever, or 9 pages, something like that. Someone said that my logo looks like Danny Trejo, and I love that idea. Oh, someone asked me earlier about the glove. If the glove kept me from smudging? What did you print it out? Why did you print it out in ink? Force one, help me with that answer. What did you do? Print it out and ink it? Yes, that's what I did. I was going to try to redraw it again, but I don't have enough time, so I have to keep moving. The deadline creates demands that my perfectionism cannot abide or tolerate. So I have to go with the demand deadline. Very important. Okay. So there won't be a pencil version of this. Yeah, Davies, that can happen, but that's one of the things I like about this tool. There's nothing dripping. I might drop the pen or something, but other than that, nothing like that can happen. It's not like having a jar of ink that can spill. I don't know, man. This dark side look is kind of tough, man. I'm digging it. If I do say so myself. Dark side. You guys remember that from the Superpowers cartoon? Dark side. It's like Dr. Claw, or Mr. Claw, whatever his name was from Go-Go Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Go Gadget go. Go Gadget go. Okay, so moving quite along. Got some dark side stuff. Looking nice. Okay, I love that show. Can't watch the new ones. Yeah, they're terrible now. I feel like that inking to me is so tedious. You know what? I used to think inking was tedious. I guess it can be, but it's actually so therapeutic. And you know what's cool about inking? I don't know if I think somebody else was talking about this. When you ink something, it is such a satisfying experience to see your stuff really evolve from that one state of just pencils into this, it seems more finished and more realized when it's inked. I don't know how else to tell you guys that, how else to describe that to you. It's just a perfect culmination of all your effort when you see it inked and inked well. Some people can't ink that well, so it doesn't always come out so good. There's definitely you have to be considerate of things like light source and balance of line weights, but overall, it's a very satisfying situation. Ninja Red Nasty, what's up? Yeah, I'm dark side. That's the best. I can't do a better job than that. The best dark side to me was the one that Alex Ross painted. Actually, it wasn't dark side he painted. In Kingdom Come, he painted Orion as the future dark side. Oh, it was so good. He was the future leader of Apocalypse. Oh, I love Kirby. Kirby, I love you wherever you are, Mr. Kirby. I hope you can hear this. You're the Mac. Anyways, let's see here. So I need to do something here. I need to create a little more shadow. I don't like this negative space right here. This is supposed to be the shoulder piece for Brainiac, but it looks a little more like it belongs to Lex. So that's okay. The painting were the best versions of those things. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Is that a brush pen brush? Barata Toxica. Yes, it is a Pentel brush pen from Pentel of Japan. You can get it on Amazon. This is where I buy this. Otaku Fuel doesn't carry it, otherwise I'd buy it there, but Amazon is strong with the force on this. And, oh, that's nice. That looks cool. See what I mean? Like, there's something you can't get in pencil form that inks can provide. It's just a whole other level. Ink is so good. I have a friend who's a tattoo artist, and he said that he described this kind of stuff like he said it's this big and juicy black that you can see from outer space. And I always thought, man, what a great way to say that. It's big and juicy, you can see from outer space. That's awesome. That's an awesome way to say it. So yeah. So now that I've done that, I feel like there's a little bit of opportunity here to create a little shadow underneath Darkseid's head and kind of fill in some of that negative space. Because I was concerned about Mixiel's Pidelic's hat being a little light on the line. His strokes on that are not strong enough. So let's see. This is a commission. It is not a commission. It's going to be sold. It is sold. It's not a commission. And will this be colored by me? No. And Reno's laughing at me. Do you know who else is like a painter with? Was Greg Horn. I still have my Marvel Masterpiece card. Yep, it's pretty good. Ninja Red Nasty, because a print of this would be awesome. Graham Gob, yo! Yes, that's why I'm doing it now. That's why I have to get it done tonight, because I'm taking it to the printer tomorrow to turn into prints for Chicago C2E2. By the way, I will be at table P3. That's Papa Tree. Papa Tree, P3. Come see me if you're going to be in Chicago for the show. I will be happy to see you guys. And I'm definitely hoping that next year I will make it out to Seattle for Emerald City. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, this came out kind of nasty. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty stoked. Goodness gracious, one bad part. Shut your mouth, Justin. Oh, what's up, Justin? Yeah, I'm trying, man. Justin, I'm trying. Working hard. Do you, Grimgob, do you print this out and take it to a light board? No, I did not. Did you take this out too? I did not. I had it in Photoshop. I printed it out in Blue Line, and the settings that I use help a lot. So it's like printing on Blue Line pencil. So I'm very excited. Yeah, man. Justin, I'm trying to get ready. I'm working hard at this right now. This is my breakout piece for that show, and then I want to I got other things to print too, so I got to go through all my stuff like that later. Should go to Big Wow in San Jose, California. That's a good one. Is it? I was talking to someone about that earlier. Lobo must have been a request by the buyer, because I don't see him fitting in that much into Superman's universe, even though I know he fought him and he looks flippin' cool. Lafayette, thank you. Listen, I tell you what, actually, Lafayette, as far as I'm concerned, he's not a quintessential member, but he brings some flavor to this piece, kind of like some of the other characters I put into Batman do. So it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. But also, he was an important member of his cast on the Bruce Timm show. So another reason why I like to incorporate him. All right. So Justin, yeah, I gotta pack. I haven't packed yet. I just realized that I haven't packed for the show. I'm all in art mode, not thinking about what I'm gonna wear. My wife is the one saying, "Hey, you know it's gonna be cold up there." I'm like, "Huh?" When you live in Florida, you don't think about that kind of stuff. We already kind of had our cold spell. Will you be at C2E2 all 3 days? Yes, sir. I will be there. You gonna be there? Come see me. Looks great though. No complaints here. Oh, right on. Right on. No, I appreciate you thinking like that though, Lafayette. That's a good point. But looking tight with the inks, bro. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kyle 100. Snow on Saturday, dude? Are you serious? Uh-oh. I was just gonna bring my hoodie. Need to adjust that plan for sure. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about my philosophy here on Toyman. I wanted to do him, I want to make him really creepy, so I'm going to use a different kind of line for him. I'm going to try to do like a real crusty, almost like a Danny Mickey approach, because he's scary. I want to do a scary version of him. It's not going to be scary. No one's going to go, oh my god, I see toy people. No one's going to say that. But I do want it to seem a little more creepy in the way the line, like it shouldn't feel like a good, clean, you gotta be crusty and grungy. Like I want to do cracks that, like he looks like he's got problems, you know? 63? Oh snap. Wow. Camera up, camera up. Oh, gotcha. Okay, let's see. Pack your thermal drawers, man. I'm kind of chubby though, Cal, so I'm not sure I'm going to need thermals. Then again, that's stupid to say, right? Let's see if I can do this too. At least you can see it larger there. Let's see. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in any more than that. So, sorry guys. But hopefully this will work. So yeah, so what I'm trying to do, and make sure that's about as good as it gets, I guess. So I'm going to use kind of a sloppy line on him. I want pieces to look like, you know, like, even though I'm doing a shadow here, I want it to look a little spiny and gritty, like, you know, that kind of stuff. Just get a little weird. He shouldn't look healthy. So what I'm doing is I'm varying pressure on the brush as I'm going through, you know, certain spots. Gives me that kind of rough look. And you just kind of have to, it takes a little bit of control to do it, but he has a nice cracked mask look. That's what I wanted to go for. And you can always kind of come in with a couple of little extra lines and you know, it's cool because he's supposed to be like this is the Bruce Timm version again. He's supposed to be a friendly toy guy, like a Chucky. That's what I'm trying to do here, is like Chucky. I'm going to create a little piece of debris that's falling off of the mask. And then I'm going to do a nice smooth line on this. Because this is supposed to be like that fake plastic hair. But then maybe not. Maybe I'll go with a thing here too. I loved him on the last season of Justice League Unlimited. He was awesome in that. How do you have this set up to broadcast? I use OBS. It's creepy in a good way. Good, Stella. Thank you. Are you using OBS for Twitch or something else? I'm using OBS. You know. Oh, nice, Kyle. Nice. Okay, good. You guys are seeing it better. Danny Mickey's so awesome. Now that Greg Capullo has left Batman onto his own book, Mickey better do with him. You know, I'll be honest with you. Mickey was one of my least favorite parts of Paul Pelletier's Hulk run. He's almost too. He throws a lot of these weird lines in places that don't really make sense. But his stuff is effective for what he was doing, and I think that I respect that especially. But anyway, I didn't know that Capullo was off Batman. I stopped buying that though. I have so much of that reference, I don't need it anymore. So I'm gonna try to draw a little clip off of his ear, so it looks like something broke in transit. It was being delivered from Amazon. There you go. Toyman. God, what a creepy character. What's OBS stand for? Oh boy, sir. I don't know. That's what I got. Uh, Open broadcast software. Thank you, the Fat Cop. Appreciate that. It looks creepy good. Okay, cool. So and so what's cool about this brush, you can do little horn. I do it often with my inks. I kind of pull the brush a little weird so I can get little flicks of thick and thin. I don't even know how to explain it, so it's just the way I kind of yank as I'm going through the stroke, I kind of yank the brush in an abrupt way, and it kind of gives me a different look. This one goes back to like what I was saying earlier about how as a penciler I had to learn things, and I probably don't ink the way I'm supposed to. That's probably not true. There probably isn't a real way to ink, but it's probably one of those things that it's just art, just do whatever. But I'm not following a lot of specific rules that I probably could on inking. I know what looks right, and I know about light source and how that affects line weight, that sort of thing. Yeah, he's a broken toy. You have the Paulo Rivera setup going on. Yeah, Cal, I do. Thank you, Wesley, for the dark side comment. Yeah, you're right. I say that because sometimes you have all these books and you can read anything, but you just kind of go with what looks right to some degree. Yeah, I learned a lot from looking at Paulo Rivera, Cal, and a lot of it was just I saw his setup with the magnets. I love that idea, and so he's just very efficient, and I love that. And the space that I have in here is really boxed me in, but I thought I was going to have more room when I first started. I don't have as much room, but I'm happy to say that some of the things that he shared on his YouTube channel helped me organize my space better. So that was cool. And then on Reno has some great ideas for how he used his space. So go check him out as well. He shared some cool videos in that regard too. I'm going to add some black here, just even though the part doesn't belong there, just to separate him a little bit. Alright, he's wearing one of those sweater, crew neck sweater things. And as I said, doing this sort of thing, inking really helped me get better as a penciler too. So on Instagram, DC looks like a beast, and Parasite looks great back there. DC should use this piece. I'm gonna see your Batman piece. Hang on, Lafayette. I'll show you real quick. Oops, should have done that. I'll show you real quick. There you go. With the Obi-Wan flow. Yeah, that's what I wanted, Tony, Coca, Jose. I wanted the shattered look. Thanks. So yeah, so this is called Batman Arkham, and the Superman piece is called Superman Solitude. Get it? See what I did there? Yeah, Arkham. Not even cool, man. Not even cool. What's wrong with this dude? Him and his skunk patch beard. What's wrong with this dude? So yeah, now I get to play a little bit with the rip in his shirt, as I had it planned. And make sure I give him a little. Yeah, that's awesome. I like this a lot. I don't mean to sound like tooting my horn here. Sometimes when you're as an artist, it's so hard to get what you want, that look you're looking for, and it's nice that you can pull off my friend calls it like a percentage. He gives it a percentage, like 80% of what I wanted. Yeah, I'm getting about 80% of what I wanted, 90% of what I wanted. That's hard for me. Usually I don't think I can achieve as much as I do. Okay, so now here I'm going to kind of give him a couple of lines to give him a little more creepiness in the eye area. What is the paper? Sorry if we already said this. This is actually smooth, bristle, whatever. From Strathmore. I run it through my printer, and I can print onto that for whatever. Yes, you need to follow Reno. Please go follow him. He's amazing, and frankly, I'm saddened when he's around because he makes me look bad. But you know, what are you gonna do? The problems with being Reno. You know, you make people look bad. Okay, so this specific technique, like I said, I'm using it on him. I want Toyman to feel fragile and crusty. I want him to feel broken and you know, like sharp, and like if you touched him, you get cut. I'm gonna add a little here. I'm gonna create a little more line texture here. All right, that's cool. I'm not gonna mess with that anymore. And then I'm gonna add just a couple more lines to delineate the hair patches or locks. Yeah, okay. So that's my interpretation of him. Now, the question is, should I go in and add, you know, like I do on Superman, I give him all these cool little pieces. Should I do that to him? I'm feeling like I shouldn't. Chunky inks. Yes, sir. That's what I was trying to do there. Just to make him different from all the rest of them. Phenomenal Batman piece. I can't wait to see you. Superman piece completed. Me too. Bob 81275. Me too. Tony Coca says no. You say no. Burn the Blunt 420 says no. And Lafayette says, I'll be back, Reno. You can't stop me. You don't pay my internet bill. But if you'd like to let me know, I'll call you to set that up. Haha, I need to follow you too, bro, on here. Yes, please do. Go with your gut. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to leave him like that. I'm with you guys. I think I want him to look a little bit weird and strange. And when I get done with Parasite, that's going to make a big difference too. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and start cranking on Parasite now. All right, so now I'm going to try to use the brush a little more smooth. So Parasite for me is nice and round. He's more like a big, fat thing. Lots of mass, lots of volume in him. So I'm going to use a lot of soft strokes for him. I still have that little lightning lick there, but keep it going. See what I'm saying? And then I come in. This is tricky, you know. I do this thing here where I kind of pull my strokes, my thick and thins there to get a certain look. That's kind of how I achieve that soft thing. Go with your gut, laugh out loud. Under the flip. Under the flip. I don't know what that means, man. What does that mean, Bird the Blunt 420? What does that mean? I don't know. I'm gonna keep moving. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I need to do this. Maybe that's what it is. That's better, actually. I just felt better just now. It's like eating a great cheeseburger. It felt good right there. All right. Oops. Just added more on Toyman. Let's see. I'm going to go in and just start carving out the white teeth in here for the sake of love. For the sake of love. Love would save the day. The greatest force in the universe is not Superman, it's love. And if you're a child of the 80s, you know that's true. Love, love makes the world go round. Love. Is that still true today? Is it? Earlier, Elliot, but are you going to be sketching commissions at C2E2? Yes, I actually put out, some of you guys, I don't know if some of you guys are here, some folks have been contacting me about commissions. Obviously I don't have the time to do any more pre-commissions. But what I am telling you guys is if you guys want, you can contact me on elliot@jerkmonger.com. And what you'll do there is if you're interested in a commission, you can prepay up front and you'll be at the top of the list. Basically, I'm taking in the commission list before I get there. So that way, if you want, I can start working on your piece, and as soon as I sit on the seat, I'll be working and not waiting for anything in particular. Sometimes when I go to a show, I don't have anything to do, so I just start drawing random things, and I don't want to do that in Chicago. I want to hit the ground running. This is an important year for me, for obvious reasons, as I've already described. So, long story short, if you're interested, elliot@jerkmonger.com. I'll send you my price list, and you can, if you're interested in a commission, and I can help you out that way. And then from there, you just PayPal me the cash, and I'll put you on the list, and we'll move from there. Sound good? Hey, hey, Mr. Beard. Haha, close up. Cheap. Fuzzy. Nice. Huh? What? I don't understand, Davies. I don't get it. Who's Mr. Beard? I don't know what that is. Alright, cool. Call me Mr. Beard? Am I Mr. Beard? Okay. So unfortunately, I really meant this. In the drawing I did in Photoshop, it was making a cameo. It is. No. The second camera. Oh, okay. One of the things I was sad about was when I was drawing Parasite. I liked the way I did him, and I was really stoked about it. But now that he's so small, that's why I'm really kind of trying to finesse him with these smooth lines, and I really don't need to because it's too small. So I'm going to kind of cut to the chase on him. It's too sad. But, if I ever get to draw Superman for DC, hope I get a Parasite issue because it'd be fun to draw him. I like this character a lot, suffice it to say. Okay. I'm trying to see when my beard showed up. Is it here? Is my beard there? I don't know. Okay. Have I answered most of your questions? I hope that, for the most part, I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask as far as like process, or I want to be able to make myself available while I'm on here with those type of things. Hold on. I'm getting buzz here. Oh, cool. Maybe some of you guys are already contacting me. Very cool. Hey, Cal, it's you. All right, nice. All right. It's all right. All right now. Oh, it's all right. Oh, I like this. This is going good. For a small image, it's kind of cool. Justin, you still there? Mr. Peterson? Also a wonderful artist. Oh man, I've meant to do this. I haven't done it yet, Justin. I went by the Tequila Flats over in West Chase, And I took pictures of your art. I meant to post it on Instagram. So give you some love there. It's awesome. You did a bunch of zombies or whatever. Killer. Oh man. Rico Flow 23. How that is such a clean style. I love it. I don't know, man. Justin, here's a question. Will you watch my table when I need to go grab a beer? You know, Justin, I will. I will do that for you. Hello from France. What? Thank you for following me, man. That's awesome. Thanks for coming by. That's fantastic. France, y'all. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. We are the world. We are the children. How long you been? Okay, so Kyle asked, how long before you got comfortable with inking with the brush pen? You did that when you had a 102 fever, Justin? That's a freaking great one, man. Hats off to you, brother. Killer. Wow, you were sick? Eesh, that's terrible. To be honest, you know what happened? The first thing I practiced on, I don't think I have anything available right now. I had something called a Tombow. No. Was it? Yeah, I think it was. No, it was called a Mars Graphics 3000 marker. And that was my first encounter with with like a brush technique. I wanted to learn, so I started with that. And Tombow sells something similar. It's like a felt tip brush pen. It's really a marker, and it's not color fast. So if you wet it, it turns into like watercolor stuff. It's really rough, but it was worth it. And I practiced thick and thins on that. Then from there, I bought some brushes, but I found the brushes to be very difficult and at first, and then I felt like I was got my co-host Coco up in here. Who Coco is? I don't know who Coco is. Anyway, so that Mars, man, what is it? I have it here somewhere. Maybe I don't, because I got rid of some tools that I wasn't using often, and yeah, I don't have it on me right now. But anyway, it looked like a long stick marker. I don't know. It actually kind of looks like a sketch marker. Oh, well, welcome, Coco, wifey of Reno. That's right. What's up, girl? Thanks for coming to the Jerk Mama Show. So whack. I have an attack. Anyway, so it looked like a sketch marker, a Copic sketch marker tip, and I just kind of learned how to ink with that. And then after I got comfortable with that, then I found this. I don't know how I found this. I think I saw an artist using it, and I thought, man, that's a cool thing. It's like a brush, but it's different. And so I went ahead and that was for you, Coco. That was for you, Coco Works. Yeah, I'm gonna hit Doomsday next. I might hit Doomsday with a similar trick to the chunky inking with I did on Toyman. Anyway, so that helped a lot, man. And next thing you know, you start to you have to practice with the tool, because then there are nuances to every tool that you discover along the way. So as you're moving along, maybe you discover that, oh, this is kind of cool. You find other ways to get it done, but you have to get yourself into it. That's what I was saying earlier. You just got to get started. Just get doing it, and you'll be surprised what you'll come up with. So, all right. So pretty much, I'm pretty happy with Parasite. He's serving another purpose right now. So I'm going to move on to Doomsday. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. This is coming out really slick. I first saw Scott Robertson using the entire Enter Pocket brush pen. Pentel. Gotcha. What do I? It's 4 a.m. I sought to can't go sleep. You still can't go to sleep? Okay. I got myself a Faber-Castell Pit pen, brush pen, but the tip is not as fine. Did not work too well for me. I know exactly what you mean. I was duped into that pen too. That's a good pen for like filling in stuff. Faber-Castell also they have their felt tip pen. The brush tip like frays very fast. So you're thinking, oh, it's a similar trick, and it actually fools you because it's not quite as good. I would say, look, it's this is for what it is. It's relatively inexpensive. I'm not sure everyone's budget, but you know, it's easy for me to say, right? But this is about on. If you bought it off of, you can go on Jet Pens. I think you can buy it there. Thank you, Rico Flo. I appreciate that. You can get. I get this on Amazon. I think it's like $12 or $13, and it comes. You get the one that has 2 extra reservoir or replaceable cartridges, and that's what you should do. So, hey, real quick, I'm going to switch real quick tools, because what you guys may not see is I have a little tricky thing back here. I hate using a giant ruler for this. I need a straight edge. I have some right here. I drew a in there a phantom zone. You guys may or may not see. So I'm going to go ahead and act on that now. Over here, I have a secret. I never left. Ha ha ha. Marsh met her just beat Supergirl's ass on the show. She looks freaking cool. He looks cool. I mean, I like Supergirl. I don't think she's going to make it for the 3rd season, though. I don't often use straight edges. I probably should. But I wanted to do that here. Another thing I like about the Pentel pocket brush pen is the ink does dry fast, which is always good for me. At some point, I need to add, draw a little bolder line on that. At some point, I need to add some space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. There you go. I'm watching it and it looked very cool. Pentel is refillable. I haven't refilled it. I replaced the cartridges. I tried refilling it one time and I was a little disappointed in the results, so I just buy them. Any advice for tabling at a convention? I'm planning on doing the local ones next year. Juice Martinez. Yes, sir. Hold on a second. Cal has a couple of sampler brush pen sets. Sorry, brother. I don't have the link thing set up here. I try to keep the links off so people don't put weird stuff. Tabling. You know, I would say go with... Most of my work is black and white, but I can say that it'd be better if you, sorry guys, I'm going to actually look up a reference here for the Phantom Zone. I want to see Zod, Ursa, and Nan. Um, that's it. That's the image. I was trying to say that I do a lot of work, black and white work, and whenever I thought I could get away with the whenever I thought I could get away with black and white art representing me, it's not helpful. I would say that you'd be better off. You'd be better off printing, getting a nice printer, or rather a banner printed for yourself, and by that I mean you go to I used to have there's a guy on eBay I use, but I don't. Reno, you might know somebody, man. I'm using the Richard Donner version with Zod and Nan and Ursa. I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do, Reno. Really, really laying it on thick. So yeah, front table banner, back banner, a portfolio book to show your art that's you're selling in business cards, flyers. Yeah, that's oversimplifying. I'm just trying to say, like, make sure that your presentation is colorful. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I should have said. Sorry, I was distracted. But that's a great. You got to make sure that your stuff stands out, because everybody tries to put their stuff, and keep your color scheme simple. I've been to shows where people put like 1,000 prints everywhere, and that's not bad, but I've also seen people just walk by, because if you have ADD like me, I can't even look at that for too long. It just gets me weird. So I walk past it right away. And I imagine there are a lot more people with ADD than you might suspect. And that's an important thing to consider. I'm going to draw a Terrence stamp here. This is a quick, loose drawing. It doesn't have to be perfect, because like I said, this is not... Let's see here. Just doing a quick... Joel, your son, my jailer, your son will be before Zod. I will have my revenge, Joel. I will have my revenge on your son. Your son's son. And over here, I'm going to put Ursa, her little David Bowie here. What? What you want? Feora was the one in Man of Steel. She was cool, man. I will say, that was my favorite part of Man of Steel. Stand up at your table unless you're drawing. Even then, draw standing up. That is brilliant, Justin. I started doing that because a friend of mine gave me that idea. A neighbor at a con that became friends, and he told me that, and that helped me quite a bit. You're less. People, if you think I'm intimidating, and then your ass. If you think I'm intimidating, when you're standing at the table, it really helps that you can be more engaging, more friendly. If you're sitting behind, one thing I've always told my wife, when we're sitting at the cons, don't sit like you're sitting at a garage sale or at a flea market. Don't do that. That's not good for your image. That works against you, and you look uninterested and stuff. And then it's disrespectful when someone comes up to you and wants to talk to you. And you're like, yeah, talk to me. Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, I've done it, and sometimes when I'm tired, I just have to sit down. But I will say that things are better whenever I stood up and I engaged customers. So that's a very good one. So yeah, keep colorful displays for your thing. Keep your color scheme simple. Don't overpower people with too much. You know what I should have done? I messed up, you guys. I need to tighten this up a little bit. I would say, in addition to that, don't very nice. Consummate artists look so disengaged it kept me from approaching. Yeah, that's true. I've been there. I've done that kind of stuff before. I made a mess out of my presentation because I was I gave the wrong signal. Somebody mentioned earlier I look intimidating. Well, imagine looking intimidating and then also never smiling. So smile. When you talk to people, smile when you talk. Let them know that you're a human being, and that sort of thing. That goes 1,000 miles for people. Look, the thing about a con is it's a show, right? And to some people, it's like a magic show, and they want to be entertained. That's why you're there. I know you're there for money, but they're there to be entertained. So it's your job to do the entertaining and to make them feel welcome. When they're in your space, that's your space. That's your house. How do you want people to feel at your house? I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to feel like, I'm treating them like gold, and they're super important. And they should be important to you because they're the people that you're hoping will invest in you, right? So make that effort. Make it look good. Be open about your product. Be knowledgeable about your product. Know your prices up front. Are you talking about me, Reno? You're probably right. And you know what? That's actually a good point that you bring up. Be careful there's a point where you can be too friendly and you ignore people, and that could be dangerous as well. And I kind of did that. I have done that. I'm choosing not to recall that particular event, Reno. But Coco, I believe you. If it's true, I'll change. But if it's not true, I shan't. No, but you want to you kind of trying to do that. That's going to determine your success. I would also say be organized. A lot of times, have your square, whatever tool handy. Make sure you're not scurrying around looking for it. I don't know if Liam Sinclair is still here. Mike. Ramon Perez was like that? Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, oh well. If you don't know much of your own costs or what your own comic books about, why are you even there? Yeah, if you need to, create little cheat sheets. Also make sure you have your business cards laid out and make a little cheat sheet for yourself. If you need to refer something quickly, and make sure that if you have someone helping with your booth, that person is aware of what everything is, because I've had that experience too, where people, they just don't know what they're selling, and it throws off the customer. It makes that person feel uncomfortable because they can't be productive for you, and this is not a good experience for everybody. That's important. And bring snacks, and don't eat in front of people. I have a friend who once took a portfolio to be reviewed by someone. They were eating a hot dog, and as they were talking, they spit a hot dog all over. That was awesome. Or if they have big boobs, that helps sell stuff at tables. That's true too. But I try not to go the sex route because, although they'll use it, but anyway, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna waste my time with that conversation. But you know what I'm saying. Sex does sell. Let's just say it that way. And there is Joel. Can you hear me, Joel? I will destroy you, Joel. What else? What's some other good advice? Bring snacks. Yeah, like if you're gonna have to sell your stuff. Oh, Davies, this is so bad. This is so bad. Yeah, Hey guys, welcome to my booth. I've got boobs. I was gonna say hot dog. That's Jack. I was gonna say American Johnny, right? American Horror Story, right? And please, all those of you who share your name with me, please forgive me. My memory's shot out. I don't know if it was my tours in Vietnam or what. I never went to Vietnam, but I have really poor memory, so if I remember your name, take it as I care. If I don't remember your name, don't take it like I don't care, because it's just hard to remember everyone's names. Um, I don't know who this Bob person is. You talking about the New York Comic Con? You know, yeah, it's all the cons are getting busy, man. I'm a little concerned that there might be a little bit of a bubble, but you know, you take advantage of it while you can. What I love about our situation here is we have so much. We're getting so much. We could take a lot of things for granted, frankly, but there's so much good going on with the internet. So this is a cool thing that we can even sit here and talk together. I mean, I really can't wait to use Discord, you know, because I love talking to you and everything. So anyway, all right. So what I've done here, I'm gonna do one more little trick here because I know I'm gonna add black around this phantom zone thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt. Oops, wrong. Without pen. This is too fast. This is my 0.8. I'm going to attempt a thin line around all of my. Let's see, maybe I'm closer to that. Around here, little breakaway line, if you will, so I can make sure that I can separate this from what I'm going to eventually do with a bunch of stars, like a star field of some sort. I might even do that trick with the toothbrush thing. I enjoy that as well. It's always fun to do. Let's try that there. Don't have to be too precise. It's got to be precise enough so when I ink around it, it'll look like a nice little white edge. Come on, bro. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about. Happens. But alright, so it's a Fight Club reference. Okay, they'll talk about Fight Club. What's your take on selling fan art versus IPs at cons? Oh, you guys, man. Reno, do you remember this conversation? How we went through all this last time? Ah, man. Why do you want to bring that up? Dang. Eric Larson, Angela Medina, Nick Bradshaw, and Art Adams are chatty Cathy. So much to talk to them because they'll talk about whatever. One morning at a con, Howard Chaykin and I spoke for a few hours before our show, just talking about crap, about random stuff. Please explain toothbrush trick. Bob, thank you. It's when you take a toothbrush, like this, and you put ink, you put white ink on here, like I don't know, Pro White or whatever, and you flick it. You can also do the same thing with a credit card, which I gotta learn that trick too. I've seen Jim into it. I gotta figure it out. Anywho, what I'm saying, my opinion. You want my opinion? Splatter. Yep, that's it. Yeah, man, this is a long one. Too long to type. Podcast right here. Yeah, right. All right, man. Look, we should. You know what, Reno? We should do a podcast, man. Like you and I, and maybe a couple other people that are. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving myself too much credit, but I like to think I can hold my own in these kind of conversations. Justin might have an interesting opinion since he has an actual my car. Well, Lafayette, I mean, how are you doing with you and your cat? How's that selling? Because at the end of the day, that's really what this is all about: is selling your product and getting it out there to the masses. If people are interested in said cat images, then that's more power to you. I've had some good YouTube videos on inking where he shows some splatter techniques. Yeah, I know he does have some good stuff. You know what? I'm gonna say it like this. Um, I certainly do appreciate the perspective. It's just controversial. Um, I appreciate the perspective of the owners of the IP because, as I said before, if I owned an IP, I'd be pretty mad if somebody came and took my stuff and used it for their nefarious purposes. However, I'm not talking about taking Justin Peterson's characters and selling stuff. And this really shouldn't matter, right? It shouldn't matter. I mean, the law is the law is the law, and I'm not going to argue that the law shouldn't apply here because that's not fair. The laws are there to protect people, people's property, people's lives. You know, it's not wise to start gambling with ideas about law and then what you can and can't do because the reality is, you're one day you're going to need that law to defend you. That's my point. Fan art prints. Now, look, I want not to only sell my original comics, but there's just some folks at Comic Cons that have zero interest in original comics. That's true. They just want prints of characters they already know. Yes. So, right. Thank you, Justin. I didn't know where you landed on that because I know that you, like I said, if I was doing your comic book about comic books, what's it called again, by the way? You know what? By the way, Justin, I need to get that one copy of that one volume. I think I'm missing something. I always, whenever I go through my collection, I notice it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get to Justin and get that issue. Anyway, IP is intellectual property. Have you ever drawn portraits? I'm great. I have drawn portraits. I don't like drawing portraits because people don't want to pay for portraiture. I was trained professionally to draw portraits, and when I tell people my prices on that kind of stuff, you guys, not you guys, I mean generally, conventions are like, what? That's too much. I go, oh, that's my price. Anyway, so yeah, it's difficult because when you're at a show, you're trying to sell, you're trying to make money. Otherwise, why would you be there? Unless you're there to promote your product. And now that creates another problem. If your product is so awesome, you're concerned that someone's going to take it or rob you of it or something. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, you're right, I don't want people selling very near mint t-shirts or prints, but doing fan art is actually helping the companies sell their characters. A $10 Spider-Man print isn't making Disney broke. You're helping Marvel sell tickets and toys. That's why they'll never crack down on fan art 100%. I agree with that. However, you could argue the other thing, which is, well, now they can't sell their things because that particular, it's not just my $10 print. It's my $10 print, and New York Comic Con is 500 artists deep. So that's a lot of people. That's a lot of $10 prints, and however many you sell that weekend. All right, but again, I think Justin's point is strong in that there is a purpose to it, and it's also been this way for a long time, which is exactly the reason why the challenge for a lot of companies is they have to defend. Can you guys see my? I'm gonna start working on Doomsday now. They have to defend their. This is the reason why that one guy, the creator of Ghost Rider, got slammed by Disney, because they can't let someone come in and just claim rights to something that they own now. And so, I mean, you can argue, oh, Disney's evil, whatever. That's their property. Once you buy it outright, they bought it. That's like me buying a stereo out of a store, or a computer. That's true, Juice. That's true. That's the argument. Then you run the risk of content editor taking notice and suing you big time. They pick up, choose what they will take down. I'm against someone selling other people's prints. I definitely don't want you selling other people's art. I do not condone that at all, because as I've argued in the past, my interpretation of that character, even as a one-off illustration, is still my interpretation. We're not arguing that. I'm arguing, can we sell that character's image in the first place? And the short answer is maybe not. The long answer is maybe there's more to it than that. To Justin's point, it does advertise, if you will, some of the fan art prints I had at my table. Very good, Justin. By the way, I got to talk to you about that. I didn't realize you were actually working with my magazine. That's cool. So I think we have to be a little bit thoughtful about this. I also think while everyone's getting really super and hyper defensive, it sounds like, Mike Wallace and Liam Sinclair brought this up yesterday, actually. So here's my response, Mike. If we go this route, this is what we talked about last time, Robbie Rodriguez can get bit. What did Robbie Rodriguez say? Did you guys talk about that already? I want to hear about that. People they own their rights to unless someone else owns it first. The whole print game at Comic-Cons is a gray area, and the big companies run the risk of ruining the conventions. They crack down on the artists in the artist alley. That is my argument exactly, Justin. If we are not careful, right, and we get all weird because someone is like, I'm always concerned about the guy who's selling a piece of art that I've done and they put it on a mug and then he says it's his. And part of it for me is that Batman, for example, at some point, these things transcend. And they will eventually, even in the courts, when they become public domain, they will transcend simply being a piece of property and become something that belongs to the universe, if you will, when it comes to public domain. And you can't stop that. Spider-Man will eventually become public domain, and no matter what Disney tries to do, because they're trying to do that with Mickey and it's not working, they're going to have to let that thing go at some point. And then that's when you have that's still theft. I understand that, Wilderness Box. I get that. I'm not talking about whether it's theft or not. I'm saying, though, that this industry was built on theft. And when we're not careful, I don't want to maybe I was just going to take the best prints and say, this is mine now, and be done with it. All I'm saying is, if we're not responsible about this, a lot's going to be broken, and there won't be any cons. And all you'll have left is this conversation recorded. Recorded on YouTube, and that's going to be it. So, we could get all uppity about it. There's a reason why people talk about these things at length, and it's not as simple as, well, it's just theft. It is theft on a certain level. On another level, what will happen eventually is it'll have its ultimate ramifications, and we're all going to suffer for it. And to be honest, so back to who is it that was saying that they draw cats and stuff? I'm sorry, I apologize. Besides that form, it's on then he can be sued. All I'm saying is, you can only sell that if people care about your cat, and you better be awesome. But you know what? At the same time, that I shouldn't discourage you if you feel good about your work and you want to sell said work as I really feel strong about this, and go for it, man. The only problem is that the market will always determine what people are not going to. I don't care if we became a communist country. No one has to buy your damn art. That's the bottom line. No one's going to care about whatever if nobody cares about it. Kind of case of good artist copy and great artist steal. A lot of gray area. It'll be conventions in the 70s, girls' towns with a bunch of dudes selling back issues that no one wants. Now that's sad. Said, I'm switching gears and going full original comics next year. I'm also, Lafayette, that's you. I'm sorry. Your cat's awesome. And if you have a print, I will consider purchasing that. But I don't like cats. Pictures of sad cats with huge eyes. Dun dun dun! Musical cats. Okay, so my other point is, I'm working on a series of paintings. I'm trying to get out of this whole discussion in the first place. That's one of the reasons why some of the things I'm doing with my new vision is to create a business around my other works of art that I can own outright. So not even comic books. I'm getting into paintings, and I'm going to be doing more home decor. I love that kind of stuff, and I've always wanted to do some of that. And so I don't mind. I love doing comics too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm also going to be looking at other types of artwork, and I want to be known for more than just how I draw Batman, because that's another thing I'm sad about. Forget about you know. I would love to, Justin. That's one of the things I actually was thinking about you that way. We were doing some R&D, and actually it wasn't R&D, it was some office stuff before I leave, and helping some artists out with their performance plans. And we were at that Tijuana Flats, and I just couldn't stop looking at the stuff on the walls. Like, oh, this is so gorgeous. And this one by us, closer to us, on Del Mabry. I love looking at your stuff, man. It's fantastic. But anyway, yeah, forget about, for a moment, forget about copyright infringement. Forget about Disney. Forget about Warner Brothers. What about, how do you feel about people only buying your work because that character is what they like? And how do you feel about that when you work so hard and you bust your ass, excuse me for my French, you bust your ass on ideas and concepts, and you're like, man, and you really feel strong about something. No, we're not changing subjects yet, Lafayette. Think about that. Think about what the biggest problem I have is I'm so tired of being known as a Batman guy, and I appreciate why people like it, but I know some of you guys like what I'm doing. That's why I want to create an art books, and as I mentioned, I'm going to probably do it through Kickstarter too. And those of you who have used Kickstarter are probably going to rely on some of you. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to still use this because I have too much invested. I think once you get to a certain point, Reno, if people like your work, there's plenty of people that like my work besides my Batman stuff. I'm just saying. And by the way, I got to find that IG, by the way, so I can follow that too. Oh yeah, maybe. But the problem is that you start to, we're artists. We're exploring things. What I'm drawing today, I don't want to draw tomorrow. What I'm drawing right now, I wasn't drawing 10 years ago. And not the way. I mean, I like doing what I'm doing. I like the caliber of the work that I'm producing now. But I want to be known for more than just, oh, you're that guy. Because then the problem is, here comes Adam Hughes, because he's Adam Hughes, and he's achieved what I want to get to. And that is, when your brand is so powerful that they buy it because you did it, not because of what you did. And that's where I'm working towards right now. I got to get there. I got to get to the point where, as far as my art business is concerned. But Jake Parker does Star Wars stuff too. I don't know who Jake Parker is, but I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, take it to the other level also. Grow yourself beyond just relying on intellectual properties. Become a better artist, and let people see that side of you too. That's going to be way more rewarding for you in the long run than if all you were with just, oh man, his Batman was badass. I get that a lot, and I appreciate it because I know where it comes from. Because I like a badass Batman too. The sea of a girlfriend, relax, Jose, relax. Yeah, fantastic quote, man. I'm putting that. So I want to just be known for the whole kit and caboodle, and because I have a lot more to offer, guys. You guys have stories to tell, whether it's in comic form, whether it's in here I go. Get on the high horse. You guys ready? You guys ready for this? This is what I'm known for on Periscope. You guys are known for a lot more. You guys have way more power than the comic company will ever let you have. You have way more imagination than you realize, and that's why I applaud people like Justin, who has his own work. Um, I'm excited about my own future with that because I can't wait to produce and tell you guys my stories. And some of you may not like my stories. And that's okay. You'll still like my Batman. But I want to get to the point where what I'm doing is more important than, or rather, what I want to say is more important than what I'm doing. That makes sense. So anyway, and if we did more of that, that's why I love what Robert Kirkman was trying to get people to do. He was like, forget about all this, getting published. What do you get out of getting published? A lot, of course. But in the long run, you're always working for someone else. The goal is for you to be able to work for yourself, tell your story, not be hindered by someone else's, oh, we can't tell that story because of this or that. I may be a Christian, but I'm not for censorship because I don't want someone to censor my stuff. And I'm not going to censor your stuff. I have the responsibility and the right not to read it, not to consume it. Thank you, man. Thank you very much, Women's Box. So, anyway, long story short, I applaud all you guys who are doing it, making your stories. I'm encouraged by it. I'm glad you guys are doing it because it's making me think, hey, they can do it, I can do it. And the trick is, can you do it well? That's a whole other conversation. Hey, what do you guys think about my Doomsday so far? Is it looking pretty raw? I like them so far. But I'm losing some, I might lose too much in some of this, so being careful now as I move along. This grill is unrepeatable. I will never be able to draw this again. Good. You know what? At the end of the day, just do what makes you happy. If drawing Batman makes you happy, do it. If doing your own original makes you happy, do that. If you believe in it, other people will too. Yeah, that's fine. I agree with that, Justin. But at the same time, if drawing Batman gets you sued, then don't do it. But that's what I mean. If you do your own thing, no one can hurt you in that. So that's all I'm encouraging you guys to have a good time. Be careful, that's all. Be careful out there. Yeah, obviously, I'm still drawing Superman. Go figure. Good. Demonic porcupine. I did the whole run to the table before anyone got there to make sure I was on the list. Okay. I also, by the way, speaking of all that, I feel good about me doing it. I have some special, I won't say permission, but I gotta go ahead on some of this, so call it that. What time is it here? Oh man, it's already 12:30. Oof. I'm only kind of partway done. Oh no, I got a lot to do. All right, guys, I'm going to continue to work. You guys can share. I wish there was a way you guys could ping me in the goat horn Doomsday, like ponytail Doomsday. I try to combine both in this image. I like the goat horn. I just don't know if he's too much, but I like this so far. So, Justin, we need to talk soon about some stuff together. And then, Reno, I want to talk to you about podcasts. At least some form where we can kind of share our collective thoughts on things. That'd be fun. Verbally, because you get more, like you're saying, we can talk more like this. Oof. It's grimy, gritty, nasty. You're at N15, okay? I'm at P3, Papa Tree. I'll try my best to remember this. Hope that this co-host will co-host for you while you draw. Okay, yeah, just tell me how to do it. I don't know how to do it. All right, Jose, be cool, man. Doomsday will destroy you all after he drinks his coffee. That's funny. So, I'm putting in some bolder lines in here because I'm about to cross over some more intense textures, and so I need to make sure that this is separating from the stuff that will come behind it. So here's one of those spikes again. There's another spike, I believe. I'm trying to draw like he's got that hair thing. I'm going to try to do this here, do the spiky. I like how I did it on the kryptonite, that look. I want to try to achieve that here too on him. Doomsday is just a big cavity creep. Thank you, Force One, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Ask me if I have that rapper tonight. I'm excited to be worth it. Oh, my show gonna be bad. Like a Breaking Bad. Nice. N15 for Justin Peterson, P3 for Elliot Fernandez Jerkmonger. Okay, I'm trying to memorize. Repetition helps me remember. Ooh, that's nasty right there. Oof. Spooky. Don't know his art, but he's talked himself into a follow, so it's Justin is great. He's got a unique look, and he's got a cool cartoony style, but very, very edgy and contemporary. It's very unique to him too, so I really enjoy it. I've collected his books over the years, and like I said, I'm missing one. I got to figure out why I'm missing it, because I had it. Because I've read the whole story, but I don't know why. Near me, very near me. It's clever too. It's a clever take on like the comic community and the comic industry, and it definitely had me cracking up. There's a lot of great stereotypes. We are so weird, man. This comic culture. Yeah. Johnny, random question. Line between secret files. I don't think, is it that I'm missing? I don't remember. I first saw Doomsday in Batman vs. Superman. I thought he was Killer Croc. Well, now we know that wasn't true, but hey, no, might as well be. He's either Killer Croc or Ninja Turtle. Or a cavity creep. We make holes in teeth. That isn't a bad Doomsday, actually. I don't know if you guys can see it very well. I kind of like it. Look at that. Oh, that's cool. It's cool. It's all coming together. It's coming together. For a while, I thought I was nervous. The way I handled Lobo would kind of mess up some of the potential for some of these other characters to be cool. But Claymore, thank you for asking. It is, well, it hasn't sold exactly, but it is for sale. It is claimed. I should say that way. It is claimed, so it is sold in a sense. Because I don't like to mess that up. If someone's willing to do it and they put out the effort, and I'm willing to let them get first dibs if they're interested. So in the future, if you guys are interested in other work, you can contact me, and we can always, if I can always address price concerns. We can do payment plans and stuff like that. So now I'm just kind of drawing texture on Doomsday. We're going to kind of add some more of the hair. The greatest image from when I first saw him years ago. It's went from bad to mega badass. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I think it's enough. You guys are cracking each other up. That's so cool. That's so cute. Hey, Sandy. Hey, it's so cool. Sandy. Why am I singing Grease? Yikes. I love it. I ain't gonna lie. I love Grease. Why yo, why yo, why? I'm gonna throw in some hair this way. I want to look at more because it doesn't matter, but yeah, and on shadow board. Nothing wrong with that. Paper has a really awesome incentive. Most people won't do it. It's okay. It's there. There's a reason for that. Don't worry. I'm not that concerned about that part, but just making sure it's available. That's all that matters. If you build it, they will come. That's not for everybody though, right? I'm not concerned about the ones who won't do it. That's there for the ones who will. Take that to the bank. Bam! So I'm impressed that you guys, so many of you, have stuck around as long. So thank you guys so much for, again, supporting me. I may as well say it now, in case I forget again, but if you guys are enjoying what we're doing here and the conversations and the free, open discussions on things, obviously I can do a better job with talking when I'm working digitally, so I can look up easier, but eventually I'll set up something here where this might have a better system to review comments when I draw. I think I'm maybe putting a monitor in front of me here. There. drawing a bolder line here so I can make sure I'm separating that tusk deal from him. Just as Tuesday had a mohawk with his really weird Tuesday. I like the love the go horns. What's your opinion on art school? You guys seen like Noah Bradley talking about how bad an idea it is? I personally went to art school. I have 3 degrees, but feel like I would have done just as well. Honestly, probably better if I hadn't gone. Just curious. I agree with Wilderness Box on that. If you are, if you feel that way about the work, I mean, it's hard, man. I feel about education that it's a necessary thing. In some cases, for some people, it's not. That said, I think art schools aren't set up to teach what we really need. It seems. I went to art school, and if all we're doing is taking money from each other, then that's one thing. But I would hope that would be more than that. So I don't know what to tell you. I think it does depend. I think that with my school, I did get some killer connections with people. But some of those connections don't exist anymore. So there goes that, right? There's some things I like things like schoolism. I like things that teach specific things that I want to learn. Schoolism is one. Bobby Chu and schoolism. I love Noah University, where we're talking about how to build your business. I mean, those are things that I can use practically. I can't use some of the things that I've learned. On the other hand, there's things that it could have taught me better, and it would have been helpful. But that's how it goes. Eric Goldman. So, when is DC going to get you to do a Superman comic? This piece looks amazing so far. Come on, DC. Thank you, Eric Goldman. I appreciate that very much. I don't know. Write them. Tell them I should be doing that. That'd be awesome. Contact some of the folks for me if you guys want that to happen. Anything like that can happen. I've done work for them, so they know what I could do. But maybe I wasn't working at the level they wanted me to for that project. And look how long I'm taking just on Doomsday, right? It's not an easy thing, but I feel great doing it though. I love the way he's coming out, and that is what it is. Okay, I'm just gonna throw in some dark patches for the hair, so there's some more volume in that as well. It's not just a bunch of a lame mop. It's got some little pieces that overlap each other. I mean, overall, that looks like just a wild animal monster. I think that I felt like it would, but it's cool as a whole, isn't it? Okay. Just once, geared towards that direction. Once a second. Thin Black Line says, "Have you considered teaching a course on schoolism?" I mean, I would. I would imagine Bobby Chu would have to contact me. I don't. You can't just go up there and do it, but I would like to. I certainly would like to. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this circle uninked because that isn't important to me right now. I can do that in the computer. I probably should have done that first, but oh well. I did not, alas. Alright, so bad guys are pretty much done. Take a look at it, everybody. Let me do this. Let me just back out a little bit. I guess I didn't ink this very well. And identify my space here. Thank you, Stella. Interesting concept there. Justin's interesting take on that. That's kind of what I was hinting at as far as like relationships and connections. How many jobs did I get after school that, because of my education, being there at the right time, right place, right time stuff. So what I'm doing right now is I like the little tricky thing I did up here, so I'm seeing if it'll work down here. I think it is. It's kind of creating like a halftone, almost Kirby crackle effect, but kind of moving. I think when I do some splattered white, it'll look cool to contrast some of those space dots. So what I'm going to do here, the reason why I did the outline was so I can black this out a little more around my characters inside the Phantom Zone. Huh, that's pretty cool. Some of the bad things about SOLITUDE. So I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the same thing here. There's a cool look to it. Head out top of the top tier stream as always. Really appreciate discussion. I wish I could make it to C2E2 to see you. You come to Indie Comic Con. Then I'll definitely be there. Have a great night, man. You too, man. Thank you so much, Good times. I appreciate it, man. Really, really cool of you to hang out. And all the comments were awesome. Questions. Take on Joker and Suicide Squad. You guys can talk about that. Why isn't Doomsday in the Phantom Zone? Because I'm doing the Phantom Zone from the Donner films, and I wanted to include. I think Zod is an important villain, and this Terrence Stamp is my generation Zod, so I wanted to have him in the Phantom Zone versus anybody else. And Doomsday keeps emerging, various iterations, so it just felt appropriate that he could be here present in this current cadre of villainy. kind of like that. It's a cool effect. Um, I say don't learn from the internet. Open up a workshop and figure it out on your own. No way, grab a sketchbook and go outside. Here's a lot you can learn on the internet too, I think. But to Justin's point, just the act of doing will accomplish more for you than many things. But also seeing things in its context is helpful. So that's where the YouTube or Twitch is helpful, because you can this is a good space for that to happen. It's a lot that I learned that I wish people could kind of help me figure out more. So I'll take the other side for that this time. But like some of the stuff I learned here, I learned by myself. I didn't learn from anybody else. I mean, I was inspired by some of the things I saw, but I mean, yeah, you learn someone else's tricks, but you can make them your own. I mean, in the end, that's what school is. You're learning somebody else's tricks. Even if it's from your friends, it's still somebody else's tricks. I learned from you, Justin, watching you work. Go figure. Okay, right. So I'm making a quick switch over to the statues. Let's take a quick look at some reference that I'll pull it up real quick. Fortress of Solitude. I want to take a look at this, the statues, what they kind of look like. And I'm not even going to try to actually draw them. I'm going to paint them with black. I already did a sketch of what I wanted, the space I wanted them to occupy, so I'm just going to hint at them through this piece here. All right. Thank you, Davies. I appreciate that. Zod is right here. And this is supposed to be Lara. So she has the cement fro. And this is going to be Joe Rabbit. I think that works. You don't need to see every detail. They're super tiny, and that's going to be part of what's cool about this right here. Subtle explosion effect. Okay. This was a lot of fun, but I must go because I need to ink something for someone in Manga Studio. Love that program. Go for it. Don't hold back. My man Jose was woken from my slumber. I passed out too early. Now I cannot sleep. Well, hang out with me. Hang out with us. Manga Studio is pretty cool. I wonder if I can get away with this idea instead of the. I wonder if I can get away with that. Actually, it's not a bad idea. It's more interesting than just drawing a circle. I can just figure it out with the shape. We'll figure that out. Don't worry about that. We can always go back with that with white. This idea a lot actually. I'm trying to do like a maybe on one side is the exploding krypton that's represented in the fortress, but or his origin, and then maybe even going through some other programs to do that for if you want to I'll be here for a bit. Also, that piece is looking amazing. Thank you, Jose. Great work. Love the subject matter. Thank you, 00smallville00. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I use Photoshop for inking also. I don't. Manga Studio is really great. I've endorsed it before. But I also can get a lot of what I want out of Photoshop, so I don't. It doesn't affect me one or the other. And I kind of like that. Kind of like that a lot, actually. Maybe here. And one side is destruction, maybe the other side is new world and freedom with birds and sky is what I was kind of planning, but I didn't think of it like that. I'm going to have to come back with some white in the actual print to bring that back, but for now it's kind of cool. So right now Krypton is partly Krypton, partly exploding planet, partly the sun of Earth, get a little more weird with my story here, I think, but I like it. All right. Hello, my friend. Are you able to adjust your mic a bit? No, not right now. I'm not actually talking very loud, so don't worry about it. Four people strong in here. Yep. Will you be coming to the cons in Toronto, Ontario, Canada? Would you like? I would really like to get an original artwork from you. Put it on my drafting table as I draw. Possibly. I'm considering Toronto for that. But I gotta figure out some of this other schedule stuff first. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to start inking Jonathan while I'm here. Got him going. Let's see. So, anyway, guys, I'm not sure I'm going to stick around too much longer. I gotta take care of a couple of things before I continue. Definitely gotta spend some time cranking this out. I will probably post images of this on Instagram soon. Check out Colin. Thank you, Slowhands. Zen, I appreciate it, brother. Will you become to see you looking good? Thank you, Crumpalog. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I'm going to sign off shortly. Please, if you guys haven't already, I've been here for a while. I don't like to be here too long. Overstay my welcome with you folks. But if you wouldn't mind, please follow. Follow me if you want. If you're interested in doing more, following more of these, or want to get in more. Some of these conversations are cool. I appreciate Justin for hanging out with us for tonight and giving us some of his insights. And Reno, man, you're the Mac, bro. I love you, bro. Thanks for all your help and everything you've done for me. I also want to thank, let's see, who else is in here? I want to thank the guys at, my people at the comic shop, at Nerd Out Comics. You can catch them on Facebook. You can also check out my guys at Shinhan Art for their art supplies and markers. Great alternatives to what you guys may or may not be using. So please check them out. And Otaku Fuel, great art section there, art supplies store. Some of the stuff that you might need is going to be there. Sometimes you can't find certain things, but go ahead and ask, and you'll be surprised what you'll get. Am I missing anything? Am I missing anything, brother? Right on, Justin. We'll talk then. All kinds of good stuff. Am I missing anything? You guys be great, man. You guys have been awesome. It's 49 still. Dang. You guys are crazy. What's the guy in the cubicle in Tampa, Florida? Appreciate it. I really do. This is coming together good, though. I ain't gonna lie. This is coming out nice. This is not coming out nice. Podcast coming soon. Dun dun dun. Yeah. I'm gonna finish up Jonathan, I think, before I head out. I want to be careful. I don't want to get too sloppy. That's what happens. I get anxious and I get sloppy. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off now. So again, guys, thanks so much. So like I said, I'll be in Chicago this week. Come see me. I'll be in P3, Papa 3. Thank you, Jose. I really appreciate that. I'll be back. I probably will do some periscopes while I'm out there because I won't have this set up with me, but we'll see how that all goes. And just trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you guys. That's it. So thanks for everything. You guys have been fantastic. Please continue to follow. That just helps solidify my purpose here, and I just thank you for that. And if there's anything, if you guys are interested in commissions, you can email me at elliot@jerkmonger.com, and we can discuss the prices there. And like I said, just feel free to reach out to me. We can always come up with solutions. Some of your prints back, we can give you those to you before you can leave. Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, I might have to do that. I'll send you a message later on Facebook, Jose, about that. What's left? Because I don't remember what's on actually over there. Thank you, Davies. I appreciate it so much, man. And I'm glad that you guys are here. This was a very busy night with you guys. It was awesome to see you guys communicating. I hope I didn't throw some of you guys off with not having enough time to communicate stuff. But I appreciate you guys' patience with me to get through this part of it. If you have any, like I said, if you have any commission questions or any questions at all, elliot@jerkmonger.com. And there you go. I'll do my best to answer. But I'm going to be really busy in the next couple of days getting ready. I might come back on tomorrow. Can't guarantee it. I got a lot to do. But if I do, maybe it'll be for a commission or something like that. So anyway, you guys are great, amazing. Can't wait to see. Gravitas, Husker, thank you. Stella, thank you. Sohan Zen, Cal, awesome, man. I can't wait to see all you guys. Thank you for the luck wish there at the con. So yeah, C2E2 coming at ya. Boom! With the skunk beard all day.